How do you figure out what genre you're writing? My name is Gina. I'm an author, editor, publishing professional. I help you make your writing better. The short answer is that you're going to have to read more. If you say that your novel encompasses a range of genres, that's probably not true. That probably means that you don't know your genre yet, which means that you are correct. You have properly identified the issue here, and you're going to have to read a lot more. Start in the genre that you think is your central core genre. And then if that still doesn't feel right, and you're going to need to read a bunch of books to figure out, like, oh, I had only read ACOTAR, and that's what I thought all fantasy was. It turns out there's actually a bunch of other stuff in fantasy, and I am more like this other version of fantasy. But if you still are reading a bunch of different types of fantasy and not finding anything that feels like yours, read some of the adjacent genres. Look at something like science fiction. Look at something like paranormal. Look at maybe the romance is actually the stronger trope. And so you're looking at something that is more of a romance driven. Maybe you have written more of like a literary speculative. Maybe you've written something that's more like a horror and you just didn't realize it. And so you weren't reading in the right places. You can talk to librarians and booksellers to help shorten this time. But yeah, you're going to have to read a lot of books in order to learn and understand the boundaries of genre. I do have a class available on Patreon. You do not have to be a paid subscriber to my Patreon, but there's a $5 each of my classes. I sell them one off ad hoc for like $5 a piece. And it's a crash course on genres, and it goes through like all of the big major genres and then actually explains some of the more popular subgenres within those and how they bump up against each other and where the lines are. It's about an hour and 10-minute long class, I think, that you can go through, and it can help give you a place to start. And you can definitely blend genres. You can use genre elements from another one. So if you are writing like a fantasy romance, that is a blend of two genres, and it can have a mystery component or a mystery element in it. But it is unlikely that you have written a book that is structurally a mystery and structurally a romance and structurally a fantasy. Like, that's unlikely. So you need to do more reading and, yeah, spend more time studying and focusing on genre to figure out where you fit within the market.